This clip is brought to you by Mind Bullet. Increase focus for work or working out. Enjoy this clip.
I think, looking at things as like a dark cloud is pretty reasonable. Like their weather is different each day. And if it's pouring rain out, it might be harder to get the things done on that particular day that you wanted to get done. Maybe you needed to go to the post office. Maybe you needed to go to the grocery store. Maybe you wanted to go on a walk or a run. You could still do that because you could put on a raincoat. You can put on an umbrella. Like still have choices. You still have choices where you can make this shitty situation maybe a little better, and maybe you still don't feel good about it. Maybe you'd use the umbrella and maybe it fucking barely works because it's windy out too. It's windy and rainy and you're getting pelted. But I think it's uncommon for people just to feel good all the time. Like there's a reason why there's a good and bad. We have these ups and these downs, and when you're training and when you're lifting and things like that, sometimes you get through a training session, everything felt great, the training session went amazing. Other times you go through a training session and you're like, oh man, I think I hurt something in my shoulder today. What is that?
My last pec tear was the first. I've owned minor injuries in the past 3-4 years. I had a pec tear in March, basically a year ago. And I've got it on film. I'm just benching 140 for one. And it's just like a little, rack the bar. Huh. Weird. Didn't get much better for a week. Went to the physio and he was talking about it. And he was like, it's just happened. Like the video, there's nothing twinges, nothing goes in the wrong direction. Everything's kind of smooth. It just pinged. And he says the only other person that I've had in as a physio that's been in the same situation was a swimmer who was teenager swimming for hours and hours a week, and then 1 week the pec just pinged a little bit, but it wasn't in the water. It was that's a bit weird. Carried on. Oh, that's a bit sore. And he said it just sometimes these things are a little bit unexplainable from a physical point of view as well, and they'll happen. It's a game of numbers. But if you want this to be more, you want to take control of in the grey area where you have the opportunity to make it a good day or a bad day. That's where the self-awareness comes in, because you have the power to control what happens next. Yeah. Whereas there are going to be some black and white. There will be a bad day. There will be a good day. Right? I mean,
you figure a way to salvage the day and just make it not shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't have to turn this day around and make it miraculous or great, or I don't need to get news that like this and this exponentially jumped up by X percentage, but I can let me just get through this day and let me do some of the things I enjoy and see if I get out of this funk. I mention this all the time, but like something like a shower. Take a shower. I mean, there's, again, it's interesting how like years later, you'll see a lot of research in some of these fields where people are like, well, cold therapy. And if you splash water on your face, there's receptors on your face. There's sensations on your face that feel the cooling and feel the water. You put cold water on I'm not saying cold water is going to cure your depression, but look what it's done for someone like Wim Hof. Like some of these little practices, when you don't feel great, take a shower. When you when you feel like eating something sweet, like brush your teeth, like try to find something different, something else that will at least offset that. Because now your teeth are brushed and you're like, I don't want that chocolate ice cream. It's going to taste weird now at this point. So I think there's always a way that you can kind of try to offset things. You're not always going to win, but it's worth a shot, I think.
Yeah, because humans have a difficult time kind of ending a chapter. What I mean is, like, say something happens and you're kind of feeling shitty, but you wash your face, that now ends that chapter, whatever the fuck just happened, you restart a new one. I think it was Belisa Vranich was explaining this, but like a horse or a dog will like shake their face and like make that funny sound. That's them basically resetting and starting over new. And humans, we don't do that. We just we keep dwelling on the same thing forever. And if we wash our face or we jump in the cold plunge or take a hot shower, we can kind of be like, all right, that's the end of that page. Let's start a new page. As simple as that sounds, but that can work.
You can go to one of these AI things nowadays, and you can say, what are 3 ways for me to be happier? You can go on YouTube and say top 5 ways to be happy. Top 5 happiest songs. It might sound a little hokey, but give it a try, or just nostalgia. I always say, like, find an old song, find something that reminds you of maybe your parents, or find something that reminds you of somebody in the family or your favorite movie or whatever it might be. You'll be surprised. You start listening to that music and maybe you listen to like a whole soundtrack and now your brain is thinking about that movie and you're no longer, or even watch an old movie that you like. It will take you back in time, and it will probably suspend whatever it is that you have going on. And maybe when you come back around to it, because there was a pause, maybe it'll be easier to work out again.
It's common practice in the military, I believe. I think it's a breakpoint, it's called, which is effectively a state change. Where example I've always heard is you're about to go into a room with that could be enemies in, and you're going to chuck a flashbang in or chuck a grenade in. You know you're about to breach the door. It's commonplace to just take a second. Don't just charge up to the door, go straight through it and go in, because you haven't given yourself the opportunity to get control of the state you're in.
Yeah.
So it's a moment of breath. I don't know what the exact practice is. There'll be people that have actually experienced it that can give you more clarity on this. But essentially, you are putting yourself in a different state of mind to change the reality of the situation that you're in. And that's where the value is. And I think that's why the iron is my therapy.
Yeah.
It's such an effective, commonplace way of doing this, because it's, I feel like shit. I'll go and lift some 10.
You know, Pet Project family, we appreciate you checking out this clip. Check out another one. Just go check out another one. Or comment down below and let us know what you liked about this one. But we love you guys, and we're going to keep bringing you the heat. So comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, okay? Peace.